everyone. In this video, let me explain you about the types of chart over here for visualization. So first, we must import some packages. First, let me teach you about bar chart, okay, where the graph would be like this. And so first, we are importing the packages, and then we'll be like sending a variable called data, and we'll be passing the data set to the variable called data. So then we are printing the data. So then after that, we'll be like measuring the like we should have a stable size, right, for the figure to be appearing. So we have used figure is equal to plt dot figure fig size is equal to so 10 comma 5. So yeah, based on the numbers, the size of the figure might change. So when you want this to be implemented, like you can, but if I do not want, and I just remove, and there's a small change over here, right? So then we are assigning PL to text label, y label, and then we are assigning a variable called tags, and then we are I'll be printing ahead. Sorry. So for this, see, so here we have the data set and uh, tags for we have assigned a variable called tags for petrol tags, and for petrol underscore consumption we have assigned a variable called petrol. So we are plotting these two over the bar chart over here. You can plot any values over here. So I'm taking these two values and I'll be replacing the values here, like just tags, and I have used previously I have plotted a different graph, so it looks like that. Okay, and then so we are adding a color over here, and then like whatever color you want, you can be changing. Like I want green, I'll be sending it to green, and that's all. So this is all about bar graph. So the first exercise is really over, and then let me explain you what the pie chart. So this is also an easy one. So for this we are using iris dataset. Okay, for this we are using iris dataset, and so this is the basic line of code which we are using for this, and we are using like PyPlot for this, matplotlib like PyPlot for this, and data of species. So we are to print species over here. So we'll be like data of species dot value underscore counts is actually the keyword which is used in here, and plot dot py is also a keyword with where there we used a bar, right? So here plot dot py. So here value count underscore counts, and plot dot py is actually the keyword we used here. So explode is equal to 0 comma 0 comma 1. So this is basically a case where the explode of this should be there. So here if I click on 1, I hope everyone will be seeing like a minute, what is wrong in here. So I'll be running it. I did not run it actually. So before it was in the data was in the error was the data was assigned to the variable called petrol underscore consumption, right? So in that data set we did not have a variable called species. So the error was that, and I did not run this. So after I run this, I get the output as this, and if I say like exploded value is like 0 comma 0 comma 1, the output will be like this. So if I totally remove this, let me see what is happening over here. So nothing happens. So if you want to explode or like do such things, like consider me adding 0.1 over here and 0.1 over here and 0.1 over here. It just makes a clear difference, right? So like a sort of differentiating it. So if we do not include it also, there is no issue. So then I hope you understand. This is over. And auto PCT is used for like basically let me change like 33.3 is the value, right? So if I put 33, so there is no value after decimal, so it is directly putting the value over there. So if I put dot over here, it will be printing the values without decimal. So if I remove this, there will be no values printed over here. So okay. So if you want the values to be printed over here, you might be using that. Okay. So this is the basic thing of that. and then shadow is equal to true. So shadow basically, if you see over here, it will be light visible over here for shadow. So if I remove this, there will be no shadow over here. Okay, so that is the basic thing over here. So if you want shadow, you can, or if you do not want shadow, you do not want to add. So then I have added colors. So if you want some specific colors over there, you will be you can be like choose what colors you want. If you do not want color, just do not want. And so if I do not want any color, you can just leave it. So and start angle is equal to 180 is basically the angle where you start. So now let me like remove this, and if the start angle is 0, it will be starting from here. And if the start angle is 90 degree, sorry, so the value changes, right? So this, if you remove this also, there is not a much change. The value will be in 0 degree. So if it is in 0 degree, see there is a like a different phase over here, right? So to avoid that, we are using this, and that is all. So that is all. PLT.show is basically used for showing. So if you want to keep the code minimal, do whatever you want. Like if you want to expand the code, do whatever you want. So it's basically understanding of what. Okay, auto PCT is used and explore is used, and I'll be just bringing it back everything. And colors is used, and shadow is used, and that is used here. Okay, so I hope everyone is clear with that. So this is the basic graph. Okay, so I hope pie chart is really clear for you. The next thing is line chart. So I think we're going to do this with SNS. So first line chart, and then we have already a package called Seaborn. So I'm importing Seaborn as an SNS, and data is equal to pd.read underscore csv of Gulf data set. So I'm running that too, and data is assigned to the data set is assigned to the value called data, and SNS dot line plot x and y values, and then data is equal to data. That is all. Okay, I hope I understood. It's a very easy graph. SNS line plot is only single word. There, SNS plot that there, PLT dot value underscore counts, right? Mm, sorry, data of species dot value underscore counts dot plot dot py is used. Here we have used SNS. Okay, there data dot plot dot data dot values underscore counts plot dot py. Above we have used plt dot bar, right? So here we have used data of like data name and dot value underscore counts dot plot dot py, and here we have used sns dot line plot. So remember these things because it will be really helpful. I hope this is really clear for you. We are just assigning x and y values, and we just printing the data. Okay, so after that we are going to plot his plot. So here only keyword we have to use is SNS dot his plot. Is the only keyword we have to use here. So I have used the previous data itself. So SNS line plot and data is equal to I have used Gulf data set. So and I printed Outlook. So and that is all. So if you have assigned only one, if you can be assigning one value, and you can be printing the data, and that is called SNS dot his plot. And there SNS dot line plot where we are having two arguments here. Here one argument above is plot like pie chart. Pie chart has data and data name and dot value underscore counts dot plot dot py, and here it has like PLT bar, right? So that is all. Next, we are coming up to box plot. So if we have imported the packages like matplot, lib.py plot, and we have assigned the values and figure sizes. If you want, you can. If you not want, you just leave it. And the next thing we have used here is data.blocksplot. So we have used data.blocksplot. Like from the data, we're using data.blocksplot column by grid. So grid is basically used for say that grid lines, right? So sorry, here. So grid is basically used for these lines are called grid. Okay. So to remove these lines, we are using grid is equals false. I hope you understand that. So here we use data dot box plot of column comma like column name and by what you want to do such things, and then species we'll dot x label is the species, like we are like giving x label and y label, right? So we have to do such things, and that is all. Okay, so column, we have to separate by column. We have to do box plot by column, and by is the thing used here. Data or box plot, where we have used data before in PyChart. There we have used data, and like column name dot value underscore counts dot plot dot by. Here we have used data dot box plot. Column is equal to sepal and cm by species, and another column name grid is equal to false. And then we are printing, and that is all. Okay, and then we are going into dot plot. Okay, so dot plot is actually the same easy plot. So considering that, we are going to plot this using Seaborn. So considering that, see, SNR strip plot is basically the plot refers to the dot plot. Strip plot and dot plot are same. Okay, so data is equal to b dot read underscore csv. We are importing the data set, and if you want to change the figure size, you can. And SN is a strip plot x comma y. Previously, where we have used x comma y, I think we have used in line plot or something like that, right? Line plot. Ah, yes, of course. Line plot, we've used x comma y, and his plot only one variable. And we have seen box plot. And after that, we are seeing the same x comma y variable used in dot plot, line plot, and dot plot. There also we have used SNS only, right? SNS or line plot. Here SNS dot strip plot. Strip plot is otherwise known as box plot. Okay. So sorry, dot plot. Strip plot is otherwise known as box plot. For box plot, we'll be using data and data dot box plot of some column species, column by. Okay. So these are the keywords over there, and SNS is strip plot x comma y, and data is equal to data, so the same as line plot. Okay, so that is all. So we'll be like getting dot plot over here. So scatter plot, so now we are coming into the term called scatter plot. So scatter plot basically represents the scatter between two variables. Okay, so for that we'll be using what to say, like a matplotlib dot pyplot. Okay, for that we'll be using plt dot scatter of data, one data with other data, right? So we'll be assigning one data with other data, and then that is all. Period dot scatter is basically used here. Okay, PLT dot scat is the one term we just use here. So I think there are two more. So I think it is better to recall what we have studied, because the last two are somewhat difficult than these. Okay, first we have used bar plot where we have used plt dot bar, right? And we have assigned two variables here declared before. In pie chart, we have used data of species like any column name dot value underscore counts dot plot dot py, and inside we have used like explode and auto pct and like what is it, shades and colors and start angle. So that is all about here. And for line chart sns dot line chart x comma y, and that is all right. X comma y and data is equal to data, that is all over here. And for here, for his plot sns dot his plot, only one value x is equal to outlook. And then for box plot, we'll be having like data dot box plot of column and column name by and something with grid is equal to false. Okay, column by is used in box plot. And then we are using dot plot, which is otherwise called as strip plot. We are using SNS strip plot, and x comma y data is equal to data. And then we'll be using scatter plot. For scatter plot, we'll be like like we'll be having PLT dot scatter, PLT dot scatter, like PLT dot bar, we'll be having PLT dot scatter, and the data of this command, this and that. So this is same as the bar plot. Like okay, that is all. So this is I mean that the same as a bar plot, like you can be see, I'll be assigning a variable called sepal, and I'll be assigning this over here, and I'll be again assigning a variable called petal, and I'll be putting it over here, and I'll be like sepal petal. So whatever you want, you can like that as well. So his his sorry, bar plot and scatter plot are same. So now we are moving into kernel density plot. Okay, so this is basically density plot, and this is how it looks like. So data is equal to period dot iris data set we are loading, and fig size it's necessary if you want, it's necessary. So this only thing which is really necessary over here. Okay, so you have seen this before in somewhere, right? You have seen this before in what I say that spy chart, right? So here we'll be using plot of petal length centimeter, like which is the data, like which is the attribute which are using here. Dot plot dot ke. That is all. That is the only single keyword which is used for plotting this. Okay, data of what you want to plot. Kd. That's all. Okay. There we use value underscore counts dot plot dot pi, and inside we use many arguments. But here we do not need that, and only plot dot kd is really. So next we are going to plot this particular thing, and so we are using plotty here to like what is it, to plot this. This is actually called radial graph. So we'll be having a plotty, and so we plot first. You have to like import we install plotly, and from plotly we have to import plotly dot express as ex and import pandas as pd. So df is equal to p the data frame of dict, r is equal to some values, and theta is equal to a b c d, like something which you want, or you can be using any values like this too. And so then we'll be using like we have created a dictionary for the values which is over here, and we're assigning to the variable called df. Okay, so then we have to plot these values. Fig is equal to px dot line underscore polar is the value which is used for plotting this plot. Okay, this is actually radial graph or something like that. Okay, px dot line underscore polar df comma r is equal to r, theta is equal to theta, line underscore close is equal to true. So I'll be explaining what each parameter over here. Line underscore close is basically if you remove this, see, I think I did not run this basically. So I have run this, right? So if you have not closed this, see there is a gap between this, right? So for that, we are using line underscore close is equal to true. So before we imported plotly and not express as px and pandas as pd, and then df is equal to p the data frame of r is equal to like some values 1 5 2 3 something like that. So you might be changing the values. Let us see. Like I am also trying with you. So a b c d, so five values, right? 1 2 3 4 5. Okay. So I am also seeing with you what does happen. So basically it changes according to the values which you give. Okay. So that is all. So r and theta, r is a parameter we have described as r, and theta is a parameter which is described as theta. So df is equal to the data frame of dict of r and the values over there and theta over there. And that is all. Okay. Line underscore close is equal to true, and we have fig dot show. That is all. Okay. So that is about this exercise. So I hope everyone is clear about this. So if you want anything, just watch what is taught over here. Plot and we are importing data frame. That is all. Okay, before it is also really like this, considering this is also like really easy, like one single word data of something, and we plot.kd. That is all. So if everyone is clear with you, I'll attach this um like notebook as the description over here, like as a GitHub file. Okay. So I thank you for everyone watching this video. Thank you.